RotoGrinders. Welcome to RotoGrinders Today. I'm Jordan Cooper, a.k.a. BlenderHD, BlenderHD. If you want to follow me on Twitter. And it's Wednesday, February 7th. We're taking a look at NBA today. And we're supposed to have TJ Swark on, but someone check on him. He's up in Saskatchewan. I don't know, is he buried under snow? I don't know where he is. But he was supposed to be here, so you're not going to get TJ. You're just going to get me. Oh my God, that's the worst thing in the world? Is it the worst thing in the world? I don't know. Some people come here for me. Hit the thumbs up button. You know how much I like the likey likes and the thummy thumbs. Press that button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Hit anything you want. Hit yourself in the head. Doesn't matter to me. Got NBA tonight. Brent McNeil says, yeah, buried in an avalanche. Yeah, probably. I don't know, up in Canada. It's not that cold. I mean, I'm here in Louisville, Kentucky. It's for February, it's, in the 50s. I'll take that. Especially last month, it was like -6 at times. So I'll take it. But we do have NBA today. We do have all of our premium projections up here at RotoGrinders, the ownership, the prop model, the pick'em tool, the expert surveys, the consensus value rankings. We've got everything when it comes to NBA DFS and props and pick'em, pick six even. Right, we got all of that for you. So click on that link in the description. Get $10 off your first month of premium RotoGrinders subscription. This is what I use, right? I always say, if people, I'm just shilling. I'm shilling all the products here at RotoGrinders all the time. This is what I use. What I show is what you get. What you see is what you get. Isn't that the WYSIWYG? What you see is what you get. This is what I use. Now, admittedly, I've sworn off NBA DFS, okay? They're getting a little bit better by knocking off the late games on some of these slates so you don't have to sit in front of your computer for 3 hours, but that ain't happening tonight, right? We got these 2 10 o'clock games. We got people on the injury report. There are people going to be on there aren't on the injury report. They're going to end up on the injury report. I just saw on Twitter that Tyrese Maxey was not present at shoot around today. So that's going to be important, right? And I always look at the injury report here. This is free. You don't even have to sign up for RotoGrinders. The Situation Room, the DFS injury report, and basically lists all the people on the injury report with, out, questionable tags, doubtful tags, everything like that, and gives you an impact rating, how important them being in or out is, and then a little if out, what's likely to happen. And we also have if-then projections here at RotoGrinders. So in the case that Tyrese Maxey is out, right, we have his impact rating 10, right? He's questionable. Wasn't present at shoot around, so that leans more likely that he's going to be out. It says here Beverly likely starts, even bigger usage bumps for Harris and Oubre. And then we'll have if-then projections where right now, what we always have in our projections here is that if they're questionable, we account for them in the projection. We act like they're going to play. But if they're not going to play, obviously, when we get that news, the projections will update. Typically takes a couple of minutes, and then you can reload, and there you go. Here's all the projections for the teams if Maxey is out. But our projection team typically gets a head start on that and comes out with if-then projections. So even you could at 2 o'clock in the afternoon look and go, if Maxey's out, what do the projections for the 76ers look like? So you can prepare. So you could even prepare for what's going to happen. And this is maybe especially important when it comes to props and pick them. Maybe try to get a head start on numbers that will move, right? So we got a bunch of games today. I think people will be targeting Sacramento, high total, right? We got Cleveland, Washington, Boston, Atlanta. Right, but we still got news. I mean, take a look at this. We got Cade Cunningham questionable, Zion Williams questionable, Drew Holiday questionable, Draymond questionable, Bojan Bogdanovic for Detroit questionable, I guess also, right? So that'll really affect what we do with Oscar Thompson, right? We got a bunch of stuff here that you got to pay attention to. The thing at this point in the season that the books at least have been doing, kind of save myself. Is that a lot of times you just don't even see the props up for these teams. Like they just don't even bother, right? So a lot of times you're not ending up taking a prop that's going to end up moving ridiculously against you because you took it in the wrong way because the projections here, like I said, the questionable players are in what's accounted for in the projections. So I use, right, since like I said, I don't want to talk about the DFS slate when I'm not playing the DFS slate, right? I don't like doing that. You can tune in 5 o'clock Eastern for Grinders Live. Then right after that, 6:15 or so is crunch time. And they handle all the stuff for NBA, especially 11 o'clock in the morning. Right, 11 o'clock in the morning, who the hell knows what the hell's going on? If Maxi's not going to play, all this is going to change, right? Is Kevin Huerter going to be value chalk, or Caleb Martin, or Trey Lyles, or any of these guys? Right, Draymond Green projects very well if he plays, but what if he doesn't play? I mean, it's almost like discussing the DFS slate at 11 o'clock in the morning is, you're just kind of guessing at this point. But when it comes to props, the things that I like about props and pick 'em is that you set it and you forget it. You don't have to worry. You don't have to sit in front of your computer and late swap. You don't have to do any of that, right? And we give you the tools here, even if you're not going to play DFS. Let's say it's like, oh, I don't want to spend the money on a RotoGrinders combo premium subscription, right? I don't play enough NBA DFS. I don't play enough NHL DFS or MMA DFS or PGA or any of that. You're like, I just mostly do Prize Picks, Underdog, DraftKings, FanDuel, whatever sports books that you have access to. You could still take advantage of our projections. They're one of the best in the industry, right? You could do that with the props and pick them package, which is cheaper. And you get the two biggest screens that you get, especially if you're betting lower volume, right? Where you're just looking to, find 3, 4, 5 things to bet on. Right, make a couple of cards, right, on Prize Picks or Underdog. It's like, well, obviously, if you're a premium member, you could download. We have downloadable, right? We see here player projections. You can just download these, right here. You get everything, right? All the stats, all nothing. You download as a seed fee. You could do whatever the hell you want with it. You could take it anywhere, right? Bring it into Excel. You could, if you're a Python programmer, you could take it anywhere you want. You could go print it out and take a drive with it. Go to the store. Go to the store, take it to Walmart. You can take it anywhere you want. So if you're a premium member, you get all of our statistical projections for all the sports. But if you're not going to use them yourself, the props and pick 'em package, you just get these little tools, right? It shows you the top 20 edge bets that currently are in projections. Always make sure to check the timestamp. Right, 9 minutes ago, this was updated. So here's NBA, the prop model top 20 in NBA. Based on our current projections, right? I'm going to show it on the screen, even though, you should be paying for it, right? I'm going to block out some of it, right? Oh, you can't copy it, right? Obviously, some of this, as projections change, these numbers will change also. And essentially, it tells you, based on our current projections and based on the lines and prices that are out on the legal sports books that are available. Here's DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM. You rarely see Caesars, by the way. Caesars have awful prices typically. And it shows what we have for, let's say, Daniel Gafford PRA, right? 18.5 over. We have, based on his distribution, that the win percentage on 18.5 over is 68.26%. Which gives it an edge of 13.71% on DraftKings based on their price. Now, how does that this is what a lot of times I do this types of teaching on my own YouTube channel. Obviously, you can subscribe there if you want, youtube.com/Jordan Cooper. And I do a stream every weekday at noon right after the show. And I teach a lot of this type of stuff, just like the basic skills of sports betting, just the basic skills. And one of the most basic skills is being able to convert prices and odds to win percentages, to implied probabilities, and seeing the differences between implied probabilities to the prices that are on the books. That's where this edge number comes up. So, for instance, I'm going to bring up the Action Network betting odds calculator. So, a converter. Right, so you could put in, the American odds. It'll show you the implied odds, right? So obviously plus 100 is 50%, right? That's easy, right? Minus 150 is 60%, right? Minus 200 is what? 66%, right? Or so, right? These are the easy ones to remember, right? So what this is essentially saying is that Win percentage is 68.26% on this Daniel Gafford PRA. So what does that mean? 68.26%. That means the proper odds should be minus 215 on this. But saying on DraftKings, there's a 13.71% edge, which means that the difference between the win percentage of our projection and the break-even percentage on DraftKings is a difference of 13.71%. So 68.26 minus 13.71 is 54.55. So it's basically saying that on DraftKings, 54.55, it's minus 120. So I'm assuming if I go over to DraftKings, I'll bring this over. I got my DraftKings account up, right? My sportsbook account. I got to log in again. You always have to. They time you out if you don't sneeze. If you don't sneeze on the computer, they time you out seemingly all the time, right? So I'm assuming based on the prop model, unless the numbers change, although this is updated like 9 minutes ago, the number on the price on DraftKings should be minus 120, right? Daniel Gafford over 18.5 minus 120. And that will represent a 13.71% edge. About. So let's go. Let's see. So we go to player combos. Let's go to Daniel Gafford. Here we go. There we go. Minus 120. That's where that edge number comes from. It's the difference of the implied probability of the betting line on DraftKings, minus 120, versus the probability that we projected at, 68.26%, which is minus 215, right? That's what that edge number represents. So obviously, if something happens 68% of the time, but they're paying you as if it only happens 54% of the time, you make money. You make money on that. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to take this, right? Take it for $40. I got a buck at it. I could put a bonus bet in, but whatever. So I'm going to take it for $40, right? Typically I bet 30, $40 per. I bet on, but I'll bet on like 50, 100 things today. Maybe not 100. Somewhere like on today, a day like today with less NHL, I'll probably have, maybe somewhere between maybe 50 and 70. Tomorrow, maybe more, because obviously more NHL. Probably when baseball starts and that overlaps, it could be God knows how many. Probably 100, 150. So this is what you're using. You don't have to do the math. Like we do the math for you. I just want to explain what this means. Right? At 18.5, Daniel Gafford, points, rebounds, and assists. At 18.5, not at 17.5, not at 19.5. At 18.5, our projections currently, as of whatever the date timestamp is, of 9 minutes ago or probably 15 minutes ago, we have that success rate of that at 68%, while the book DraftKings has it at 54.55%. Now, what is it on FanDuel? Let's go to FanDuel. Right? So let's go to FanDuel. Let's say it's like, oh, well, I already have FanDuel open. Let's see what it looks like on FanDuel. What is this price on FanDuel? So the thing that I like about FanDuel is that you get this fucking search, which always helps. All right, so let's go to Gafford. So Gafford's PRA. So PRA 18.5, right? Minus 106. No, this is points and rebounds. Points. Well, I don't even think they don't even got it up. Here, points and rebounds, 18.5. Gafford doesn't have anything else, right? Or we go to point. Let's go to points, right? Okay, points in a sit. Yeah, because they're just not up. Okay, let's go to let's use the example on points. Okay, because obviously DraftKings is going to have his points number up. So here we go, 10.5. So let's use this example. I just want to show you the basic skills, entry-level skills of sports betting. Is this complex math? No, it's not. It's not complex math. This is just common sense. This is middle school math. This is early high school math. You don't have to know much. You could even use a converter. You don't need to do any formulas or anything. just to get the concepts, down. So we go to, let's say, Gafford points, 10.5 over. Win percentage, 61.82%. What is that? Now, 60% is minus 150, right? So 61.82% is what? Like minus 155, right? Do you need to be, perfect, right? Minus 155 or so? I guess maybe a little bit higher, right? 61 point whatever percent it is. 61.82, right? So we're saying that this bet should be priced at minus 161 or so, right? That's what we're saying based on our projections. But on FanDuel, we have an 11.32% edge. So that's about, it's about 100 plus 100 or plus 101. So I'm assuming on FanDuel, his over 10.5 is like plus 100, right? Minus 104 currently. Okay, so what's minus 104? Minus 104 is, go to the betting calculator, minus 104, 50.98%. Well, we have his over 10.5, 61.82%. So by subtracting one from the other, you get that's what the edge number is. The edge number here is it's not 11.32%, it's about 10%. 10 point whatever the hell it would be. Just under 11. It's a little bit lower, right? So this would be a profitable bet according to our projections. Now let's say you go to DraftKings. You go to DraftKings, and we're going to go to player points. Gafford is at over 9.5 at minus 135. Two different numbers. They're two different numbers. Over 9 is one, like, what's minus 135? This is how you have to think about it. What's minus 135? Because some people will just go, I'll take the 9.5. Minus 135 is 57.45%. Okay? So that's what you're getting on 9.5 on DraftKings. But you're getting minus 104 on FanDuel at 10.5, at 50.98%. Implied probability. So like 51 versus 57.5. So that's a 6.5% difference in implied probability for the extra. You need to get an extra point for it. Is it worth it? Is it worth betting over 9.5 minus 135? Or is it better to bet over 10.5 at minus 104? Well, if you actually did work it out and see how the distributions lie, you'd much rather take over 10.5 at minus 104 than minus 135, even though it's a lower number. Because the difference, that 6.5 whatever percent difference, is much wider than it should be. And you don't have to do that work. That's the point. If that bet was better, if the over 10.5, if the over 9.5 on DraftKings was better, it would be listed here. Right? It would be listed above it, right? Because we're already comparing it to the books. So Daniel Gafford over 10.5, 10-11% edge. But that over 9.5 at minus 135 at least doesn't. Maybe it's profitable. Maybe it is a little bit profitable. Maybe it's not. Doesn't hit the top 20 in our prop model. Obviously, if you download the projections and run all of them, you'll see the edges for all of them. So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll go, oh, okay, Daniel Gafford over 10.5. Oh, on FanDuel. But they already have DraftKings open, and they'll be taking this. They'll go over 9.5 and be like, well, this is a better number, right? It's a better number. I don't care about the price. It's like you'd be more profitable. Much more profitable. Actually, much more profitable. If it's a 5% edge difference, because remember, the bottom of this goes down to like 5. And we're saying that this is 11.32. So if you're going to give up 5% edge just because you won't click on over to another site, imagine doing that every day. Imagine doing that every day. What's the difference? They go, oh, what's a 5% difference? Jordan, it's pennies. It's pennies. I only bet $50. I only bet $50 bets, right? What do I care about pennies? 5% difference? A 5% difference on yeah, but what happens if you make 5 bets a day at $50 each? That seems reasonable, right? I think that's a level that most people could be at. 5 $50 bets a day. I mean, I do more, right? I do more volume. I don't do higher sizing, but I do more volume. So a 5% difference. So let's go to the betting odds calculator. We can use the betting odds calculator. What's that equivalent to? I mean, that's equivalent to, imagine plus 100, a 5% difference in implied probability is minus 122. Okay, so put it in your head. That's like betting minus 122s on plus 100s. You're giving up 5% by just not finding the best number and the best price that's available on market. So imagine giving that up, that 5% on $50 bets, right? That's the difference, right? On a $50 bet, right? Imagine paying out, winning $40.90 instead of $50, right? That's like $9, right? $9 on a $50 bet. That's a 5% edge difference. Let's you do that every day. Let's say you only do it once a day, or one $50 bet a day, and you do it for 300 days. That's $270. Now that's more than that. What are we talking? That's $2,700. I didn't add enough zeros, right? If you're giving up $9 in a day, oh, what do I care? Who cares? If it wins, it wins. It doesn't win, who cares? Who cares what the number is? Who cares what the price is? You do that every day, once a day. That's $2,700 at the end of the year. It's just like you're just giving that up for no reason, just because you don't want to click on another screen. That's essentially what the reason is. Your inability to click on another screen is costing you $2,700, possibly. Now imagine over and over again, you do twice, 3, 4, 5 times a day. Let's say your unit size is $100. You know how much that adds up? You can't be profitable. Like at this point, I don't see how you can be profitable. You're never going to make up for the hold, even if you're betting all similar bets, but not getting the best number, not getting the best price. You're just sitting there, just throwing money away because you were too, I don't know, lazy. Right? So take a look. I mean, and we try to save you here at RotoGrinders. We try to save you. Where our prop model, if you use the prop model top 20, like we'll just tell you where the best number and the best prices. And here's the edge. There you go. You're done. You don't have to worry about it. Right? We do that with the Pick'em tool also on Prize Picks. I mean, it shows you. Here's the edge numbers on single picks, right? Depending on how many picks you put in your card on Prize Picks, the lower the win probability, the win percentage you need. So if you're doing flex fives, like anything 55% or over is good, right? If you're doing like twos, you need 58% or over. I don't know if you could do singles. I know we have the demons and the goblins and all that stuff on Prize Picks. I stick to the main stuff. I take a look. I'll reload this. Take a look at the Pick'em tool. I mean, I already put stuff in. I also try to take stuff that may be like correlated to each other, right? Or somewhat or negatively correlated. Like like Daniel Gafford's PRA more with Kyle Kuzma's PRA less. That could be correlated. Right? We got, if Donovan Mitchell points and assists in the Cleveland game, right? And the Daniel Gafford PRA, right? If they both, play max minutes, that has slight positive correlation. Obviously, NBA, there's not that much correlation. But I try to take a look, and it's like, okay, based on our projections, it's the same thing. Here's the win probability at this number. one of the key things that if you're betting on sports, it's not like DFS where the salaries don't move, right? It's just the salary. We're not going to get, if Maxi's out, that means Kelly Oubre's salary goes up 2,000. Nothing moves. But in sports betting, things move. So if later in the day, right, we have, Daniel Gafford, and maybe the number goes up to 19.5, 20.5. Maybe James Harden goes up to 31.5 in PRA. Or, we have, Denny Avdija goes, it moves. Or what? Any of these can move at any time on Prize Picks and on the prop model. So if you're showing up at like a half an hour before these games start, you're not getting the best number and you're not getting the best price. You could still load this. It's just that you may not see the highest edge bet. Like, you may look at this chart at 6:30 at night, 7 hours from now, and Daniel Gafford may actually be a positive edge. Maybe he's at 20.5 and it's down into, maybe it's a 3% edge now instead of a 13% edge. Right? I think the Trey Jones number is gone. I tried taking that earlier. Right? You'll see the books will even take them down. Right? So you take a look here. This will get updated. And by the time you look at this at 6:30 at night, half of the stuff is gone. Now, you may still find 5% edges. There's always going to be something. Right? Especially with player props. You're always going to be able to find something. Just it's not going to be as profitable as it would be earlier. That's why I highly suggest that if you're playing DFS, if you're doing props, if you're doing sports betting, structure your day in a way where you shouldn't be thinking about DFS first. Like, that's why, like, here on today's show, it's like DFS, that's Grinders Live, that's crunch time, that's later. Now you're doing props, because once you don't have to late swap props, right? You see who's in, who's out, right? You look at the injury report, make sure you're not getting yourself into some sticky situations. Like, after this show, I will just bang these all out. Bang, 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 bang. I'll just go all bet on all these. All of them. I'll go to NHL, bet on those. Right? NFL would be on a normal week, Wednesday or Thursday. I'll download the projections, and I won't even take the top 20. There'll be more. Maybe I'll have 40, 60, 80, 100. Who knows? I'll just go and go, okay, this on DraftKings, this on FanDuel, this on BetMGM, this on Caesars, which rarely happens. Bet365, right? Which isn't in many states. So I always have to check Bet365 manually. Get the best number, get the best price, bang it all out, and then you're done. You're done. You're done. Even this top, like, you should be able to bet on all of this top 20 in 5 minutes. If you get used to the screens, if you know what you're doing, know what to look for. Maybe 10 minutes. And then you're done. You could worry about DFS, 7 hours from now. Our projections will update, right? You have to really pay attention to the news. We'll take care of you. That's what we do here at RotoGrinders. So that's my day. I'm describing what my day is, other than the fact that I swore off NBA DFS, no matter even if I'm profitable in it. It's the quality of life. I'll play NHL. Maybe not tonight. I played NHL yesterday. NHL would have done so much better if the Bruins didn't suck, right? If Pasternak didn't suck. I had a pretty good lineup in the 222 with the low-owned Elias Lindholm, double brace. But no, Boston couldn't get there. But whatever. But this is my day. I'm describing my day. So this is what I would do. These are the tools that I use. These are the projections that I use. Some people looking at, okay, you're just saying this because you're on a RotoGrinders show. It's like, no, this is what I literally do. What is my I could even take a look and all time. I've been since I started. Let's see. Oh, this is a year. Okay, it's not year. It's barely been going on. But like all time, 12%, 12.72% ROI. And when all time is since July 31st. On this app that I'm tracking. But since at 12.72%. And I mean, this is what I do. This is what I do. And I use these tools. So if you want to use the props and pick'em package, right? I already got like for instance, I feel like sometimes I have to show that I actually do use the tools that we have here, right? Like my entries. Like, look, I already have these cards. I mean, look at this card. 6 picks to pay $500, right? $20 flex play. Gafford, more than 18.5 PRA. Harden, more than 30.5 PRA. Wembanyama, more than 2.5 block shots. Donovan Mitchell, more than 32.5 points and assists. Jimmy Butler, more than 29.5 PRA. And Sadiq Bey, more than 5.5 rebounds. I mean, and then we go to the pick'em tool. Daniel Gafford, PRA, hard. I mean, it's everything that's here. I mean, it's literally, I mean, it's all the top of this chart. I just put it in. I'm done. How easy is it? Right? You're not going to win. I mean, remember, these are six picks. You're looking to win 2 a month and you're profitable, right? Right, because it pays 25x, right? 1 a month is break even. 2 a month is profitable. So it's not like you're going to hit those all the time. But I'm also going to be taking all these individually on the sports books because you get paid better on the sports books than by forcing these parlays together. Is this rocket science? It's not rocket science. I showed you the betting odds calculator. Is this advanced math? Just so you understand what these numbers mean? No, it's not that complicated. It really isn't. That's why you need to sign up for RotoGrinders. Click on that link in the description. Get $10 off your first month. If you get the combo premium, you just get everything. Right? You get Sim Labs for NFL and NBA. You get MLB will be back, right? A little less than 2 months, 7 weeks, 6-7 weeks. PGA, we got the Waste Management Open, right? We got PGA content. We got Noto. We got cards. They do, the PGA show. We have PGA projections. We have props and pick'em for PGA, expert rankings for PGA. We got NASCAR. We got NHL, MMA, soccer, right? So EPL is on, Saturday. I use our projections for EPL, right? So get it all. Get it all if you want. Click on that link in the description. If you just want the props and pick'em, just get the props and pick'em package. It's much cheaper, but you just get the props and pick stuff. Right, here you go. 3-day trial, just $9.99. It shows right on the screen. Ridiculous. I don't know why. I truthfully don't want you to do it because the more people that sign up for this, the less valuable this is going to be. Because that means too many people are going to use it, and then the numbers are going to move, and then I have to be even quicker. I don't want to be quicker. I want to be as slow as possible. I want these numbers to stay up on the books as long as possible. But the more and more people that sign up, it'll move quicker and quicker. So, like for me, from a betting perspective, I prefer if you didn't sign up for this. I prefer if you didn't. Now, from a RotoGrinders perspective, obviously, RotoGrinders would love to have your money also, right? It just hurts me a little. Unless you don't use it properly. Unless people sign up and don't fucking do anything, right? That's half of the stuff that I talk about is relies on that. That I'll teach you everything I know and just hope that you don't actually do it or you don't do it well enough. But I'm here answering your questions, hitting that like button. Give me those likes. Give me those thumbs early in the morning. Hit the subscribe button, especially if you're new here. Hit the notification bell to always know when we go live. We got Grinders live later today, right? They'll be talking about the NBA DFS slate. Then right after that is crunch time. We got Super Bowl stuff, right? The big game. Can I even say? Am I allowed to say Super Bowl? It's the Super Bowl, right? It's the big game, right? They always have the copyright problem. Oh, I can't say it in any promotion. There's no promotions here. But we'll be talking about the big game tomorrow. The big game with Will, Chief Justice. We're looking at some prop stuff for Super Bowl tomorrow with Will. And then on Friday, Squirrel Patrol will be on, and we'll talk more about the showdown contest on DraftKings. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that with Will tomorrow as well. But the next 2 days, Super Bowl. No, I can't say Super Bowl. Big game, big game, big game. It's a big game stuff. We're doing big game stuff. Can we even put Super Bowl in the title? Who calls it the big game? Other than you can't use it in advertising. I believe that's the thing. Like you have to be the officially sponsored thing in order to use it in advertising. But we're not advertising anything here. It's just me talking about the big game. And I will do that tomorrow. And then after that, we'll be back on the saddle like we always are, talking about all things you're thinking about in daily fantasy props and pick 'em. Monday through Friday, 11 o'clock Eastern on RotoGrinders Today.